I even live? No. No, I am. But I'm lagging like crazy. Hang on. Okay. Fixed it. Yes? Fixed it? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it did that. I'm glad it did that at the start of the stream. Um, really hope it doesn't do that again because that would really suck. Anywho, let me post the stuff. Uh, I think it. I think it like cut out the. Like I did a funny intro, but it cut it out. Whatever. Whatever. Hi, party hat. Everything should be. It shouldn't be like lagging or anything like that. I guess it just had to get that out of its system. It was. My internet's been kind of like on and off today. So, you know, hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay, this is what I'm looking at right now. It was just really choppy right there. It says it's excellent, but I don't know if I believe that. And it says we have 4,000 goodness and chat's working. So I'm gonna assume we're good. I really don't want the stream to crash today. But again, my internet's been on and off today, so we'll see. We'll see. I was playing Fortnite earlier. It was not fun. I did not do good at all because of the stupid Wi-Fi cutting out. Anyway, we'll give it a few more minutes, then we'll get into the tier list. Hi, Frick Bears. You are early. Before the first... You made it within the first 5 minutes of the stream. Well done. Well done. Yeah, if the stream does lag at any point, and if it crashes, please let me know. Because that would be very unfortunate, but something tells me something tells me the stream's gonna crash today. Something tells me we're gonna crash, and we're gonna have like 3 streams, which wouldn't be great, but what are you gonna do about it? I don't know how to... No, whatever. I'll quit my yammering. Yeah, we'll give it another minute, and then we'll get into the tier list. How are you doing today, chat? My little chat. Trying to get myself in, like, frame, but also, like... I don't know. Yeah, YouTube's weird with notifications. Yeah. I hope it doesn't crash. I really hope it doesn't crash. But something tells me it will. So, in case it does, just be aware of that. Good. I'm glad you're fine. Well, I guess in the case that it does crash, we should probably try to get this done as soon as possible. So I'm going to change the background music, and then we will get into the tier list. You played VR with a friend today? Nice. We'll go with the arcade. We love Into the Pits soundtrack here. Alright. The tier list for today. As you can tell by the title, we are going to be ranking the Fazbear Frights and Tales from the Pizzaplex stories by how well they would be TV shows, like TV episodes. Like let's say there's a TV show called Fazbear Frights. We're going to rank the stories from the books, how well they would work as TV episodes. Party Hat, this was your idea, wasn't it, right? I know I got it from someone. I think it was you. think it was you. So thank you for the good idea. If you have any more stream ideas, let me know. FNaF 3 the musical, I've never watched that. This might be this is an unpopular opinion. I never really got into like the FNaF the musical stuff. I think I watched the first one and then I don't know. I just didn't really, not my cup of tea. It was your idea. Okay. I'm glad you're here then. So, Into the Pit. I think Into the Pit would make a great episode. Yeah. Lots of like action with like the yellow rabbit. And the way I'm imagining this, I'm not going to try to like... Okay, never mind. Let's say each episode max like an hour each. Like 50 minutes to an hour each. We'll say, I think that's fair. Oh, you're talking about that one, Frick Bears. This attraction is great. So many guards I can... Yeah, Into the Pit would be great. You can have fun with, like, time travel. You can have fun with, like, the Freddies. I think that would be a great, like, setting. Yeah. Plus, you can dive into, like, the horror. Maybe Oswald has to, like, sneak around Freddy's and the yellow rabbits trying to get him. I think you can have fun with that. To Be Beautiful. To Be Beautiful could be fine. Obviously, it wouldn't be as action-packed as Into the Pit, but I still think To Be Beautiful could be a good one. I might put it in A tier, actually. Count the Ways. Count the Ways could be good. I feel like you would have to spend the majority of the episode, though, building up to Millie being in Funtime Freddy. I think the majority of the episode would have to be outside, because Funtime Freddy's stomach is just such a limiting environment. Count the Ways is S tier? I don't know. It would be entertaining, but I don't know how well you'd make that work. Girls' horror movie. It does. Fetch, I think, would be good. Maybe not as good as Into the Pit, but I might put it A tier, and I'm going to move To Be Beautiful to S tier. To Be Beautiful, you can have a lot of, like, body horror, which is good. Fetch, I don't know. There's just something about Fetch I don't think would work well as an episode. I don't know why. Like, yeah, you can have fun exploring the abandoned Freddy's where they found Fetch. But I don't know. I just think it works better as a story rather than a TV show. Count the Ways would be good if it was shorter. Yeah. Yeah, that is a good idea, Party Hat. Maybe you have, like, a dual perspective with, like, Millie inside Funtime Freddy and her grandfather looking for her. I think that's the best way you can make it work. Lonely Freddy. Nah. I don't think Lonely Freddy would work. Out of Stock could be a cool one. I think Out of Stock would be better than Fetch, honestly. Lots of, like, different settings with, like, the mall, the nursing home, the house, the train tracks. That would be good. Suspenseful. I think Out of Stock would be good. 1:35 a.m. I'm also going to put A tier. I think 1:35 a.m. Also, let me just... 1:35 a.m. would be an easy one to make. You wouldn't really have to spend that much money on, like, you know, with Into the Pit and To Be Beautiful and Out of Stock and Fetch, you'd have to spend a lot of money getting, like, the, like, designing the antagonists. 1:35 a.m. would be a lot of just, like, mental horror, which, if executed properly, could be pretty good. Yeah, Lonely Freddy would just be two parents relying on a book and bullying. Yeah, Lonely Freddy wouldn't be that good. Room for One More? No, I don't think Room for One More would be that good either. Because it's mainly just Stanley sleeping on the job. And I don't know how you would be able to show the mini arenas inside of him without it being disgusting. So, I think room for one more is, like, bottom of D tier. The new kid would be a good one. I think the new kid would be great, actually. You could have it, like... Yeah, I think the new kid would be good. I think it's... The new kid walks, like, a fine line of coming-of-age story with, you know, them being in, like, school and stuff, trying to fit in, while also keeping, like, that creepiness factor of, like, they explore the abandoned Freddy's, they find Golden Freddy. I think the new kid could be pretty good. Room for one more could be body horror. That's fair. That's fair. Also, Kitty just entered the room. Hi! Hi! Hi. Here, we'll see. Oh, we'll see if we can get her on camera. Do you want to say hi? Here. Say hi to the chat. Aw, good girl. Don't you go jumping on the desk, okay? Okay. My little kitty. Step closer. Okay. What are you doing? Step closer. Okay, honey. I don't want your tail in my face. Can you even see? Yes, you can. Hi. Oh, jeez, she almost just fell. That would not have been good. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, step closer, I think would be pretty mid. Okay, honey. I don't... What are you doing? Step closer would be pretty mid. You could have fun with, like, the Freddy's and seeing the Foxy animatronic. And I think it would be entertaining to see all the ways Pete almost gets his arm and eye taken from him. Okay, honey, I gotta get you down. You're causing a ruckus on my pants. It sounded weirder than I meant for. Yeah. I think you could have fun with Step Closer, but I think it's also, like, what's it called? I think it's a thing of where it might feel repetitive. Also, Mark, your message isn't showing up in chat. I'm glad I caught that. I want to see Mpreg Springtrap in live action. Thank you, Mark. This might be like the first time he's ever shown up to one of my streams, and this is what he says. Thank you, Mark. Enjoy your Backrooms movie. Sea salt. Bro. Now I'm kind of like worried. Are other messages just not showing up on chat? Like I have chat on my phone. Your message didn't show up there. I don't know why it's only here. Let me try something. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna take a slight detour so I can do something real quick. No, it doesn't work either. Weird. Mark, I don't know why your message isn't showing up. Anyway. I know I kind of missed some messages there. Let me see. Yeah. Step Closer would be fine. Nothing too special. Just pretty middle of the road. Dance With Me is kind of on the same level of 1:35 a.m. where it's... I mean, obviously Ballora is a more antagonistic threat in the story than Ella is. But... what's it called? But I feel like it could also lean more towards that psychological horror. Especially since whatever her name is, the protagonist, is a thief. You can have fun with, like, exploring her backstory, why she's like this. I know they explain it in the book, but you can You can do a good job translating that to live action, I think. Dance With Me could work. Coming Home, I think if you tweaked Coming Home a little, it could work. I think if you explore more of, like, the supernatural side of it, then I think Coming Home could be good. It would be a more, like, somber episode until it, like, ramps up at the ending with the Chica part, but, you know, I think it could work. See, like, some of the messages just aren't showing up. I don't know why. Drawing Fazbear Frights on how I think they look. That's a cool party hat. Frick Bears is gonna say something. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Coming Home is a weird story. Cool idea, but I don't know. Really, you didn't know Coming Home was a book? That's crazy. Bunny Call could be good. Maybe not as good as these ones, but Bunny Call still could be cool, I think. The setting of, like, the camp, that's a cool one. You can have some, like, throwbacks to, like, old horror movies. Ralpho, I think, is an interesting enough antagonist. Really, the only action would be, like, the scene in the cabin, but I still think you could... Bunny Call could be good. In the Flesh, the one that Mark was talking about. I'm trying to think of, like, In the Flesh as an actual story. Like, memes aside, In the Flesh I just don't think is a really good story in general, let alone to adapt. At least Room for One More, you can do body horror. Lonely Freddy, you have, like, the cool setting of the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. In the Flesh really doesn't have anything going for it. Oh, Jesus, there's an ant on my arm. Bro, what the hell? Ugh. I think I heard a stink bug fall into, like, one of the boxes in my room earlier. I'm gonna have fun finding that in a few weeks. Man in Room 1280. This one could be cool. I think the setting for this one would be really good. Also, I keep checking OBS just so I can see if the stream's still going. Yeah, Man in Room 1280, I think the setting for this would be really cool. Setting it in, like, this old hospital. It's, like, raining and lightning, thunder outside. You enter the room. You enter Room 1280, and it's, like, dimly lit. You can do some really good prosthetics for William Afton's face. Lean into CGI a little. Yeah, Man in Room 1280 would be good. Yeah, I think this one could be good. Maybe not the most eventful, but still pretty good. Blackbird is another S tier. I think Blackbird really could work. The setting, like, Blackbird, the story changes setting fairly decently. And I think you can do some really creepy stuff with Blackbird. Like, I'm thinking of the scene where, like, I think this is a scene in the book where the protagonist wakes up from, like, a dream or whatever, and they see Blackbird staring down at them. That could be a really creepy shot. Yeah, Blackbird is S. 100%. Honestly, this one and Into the Pit are, like, the easiest S tiers for me, in terms of how well they'd be TV shows. The Real Jake, I think you can make Real Jake work. It would be a sad episode, but, you know, I think you can make it work. Yeah. Hide and Seek does have good action in it, but I don't think it would be as cool as the rest of them. I feel like it would just be a pretty, you know, run-of-the-mill, basic, mid-episode. Like, yeah, Shadow Bonnie is a cool antagonist, and you can do some creepy, like, body horror stuff, but I don't know. I don't think it would be too special. The Cliffs, again, I don't know. It would be a sad episode until you get to the end and you find out the twist. that, you know, the boy's still alive, but I don't know. Good changing, like, setting-wise, I don't know. I still think it'd be better than these three, but not that great. Yeah. Also, yeah, that's a good point, Frick Bears. What's it called? Hide and seek is a good one where, you know, if Shadow Bonnie isn't believable, then you kind of lose a lot of that aura. You're procrastinating. Dude, you gotta read Real Jake. It's a good story. Yeah, Breaking Wheel. Breaking Wheel would be, like, let's assume this show is rated R. Breaking Wheel could get intense. Yeah, I think purely for, like, the body horror and the visuals, it has to go into A tier. He Told Me Everything, I think this is a D tier one. Maybe the top of D tier. It would be weird to see, like... It would be weird to see He Told Me Everything in live action. I'm just saying. Gumdrop Angel... No, I don't think Gumdrop Angel would work. Sergio's Lucky Day would be funny. Yeah, Sergio's would be funny. Plus, there's, like, some good body horror in there with him, like, cutting off parts of his body to make it perfect. I think Sergio's Lucky Day would be a fun one, actually. Yeah, Sergio's Lucky Day would be good. What We Found also probably would be a banger. Live action FNaF 3, I mean, come on. We're getting that anyway with the movies, but, like, What We Found in particular, like diving into Hudson's trauma, that would be good. Kitty's back. Yeah, Gumdrop Angel in live action could look really weird. Puppet Carver, I think this one's a D tier. I don't know. I just don't think there's any... I mean, obviously there's interesting stuff in the book, like Fazgoo returns, but I don't think enough to warrant an entire episode. Jump for Tickets, again, it has its moments. I like the ending, but I just don't know how well it would translate into live action. And again, Pizza Kit, I feel like this one would work better, but it would be very slow. It would be a very slow story. So, you know, pretty mid, I guess. Friendly Face, again, you can see the quality drop from in Frights as we go through these stories. Friendly Face, Kitty is playing with the bag. She's playing with a Walmart bag. Friendly Face, no. Sea Bonnies, maybe. At least with, like, Gumdrop Angel. Maybe for, like, the visual of, like, the Gumdrop Angel, you could use some, like, cool prosthetic work there. Like, something you'd see in, like, an 80s, 70s movie. Yeah. And again, Together Forever kind of suffers from the same problem as Count the Ways, where it's a very limiting setting and atmosphere. So I don't think that one would be good. Yeah, Sea Bonnies could have some good body horror. So could Gumdrop Angel. Prankster, I think, could be pretty good. Make it like a twisted game show. Like, I don't know, Beast Games, but Mr. Beast is evil. Oh wait, that's just Mr. Beast. Yeah, I think Prankster could be a good one. Plus you get good body horror with Glitch Trap, like, mutilating the fingernails or whatever happens. Yeah, Prankster could be good. Kids at Play would be pretty bad. Pretty bad. At least Friendly Face would be, like, you know, laughably bad. Find Player 2? You could make it like a mystery story. Like, there's lots of traveling to different areas and stuff. Find Player 2 could work. Yeah, isn't Mr. Beast already evil? Yeah. And then the epilogues would go hard. Epilogues would go hard. Crazy visuals with like the Stitch Wraith and the Afton amalgamation. Plus, it's a good like story. Kind of like how What If like built up to their finale, where like it ties everything together. I think the epilogues would do that too. And then the scrapped stories from Frights. Felix could be mid. I think you could have fun with like the underwater parts. Yeah. The Scoop, again, is like a mystery story. So that could be good. And You're the Band. You're the Band, I think, would work the most out of those three. Yeah. Now on to Tales from the Pizzaplex. Frailty. Frailty's a tricky one. Because kind of like To Be... It's pretty much To Be Beautiful. But Eleanor's not there. And I feel like a lot of the fun of To Be Beautiful is Eleanor. So I don't know how well this one would work. Lally's game would kind of be a little meh. Yeah, Frailty, I don't know. I feel like To Be Beautiful would be 10 times better than Frailty. Just because of Eleanor. Under Construction, at least this one has like the Pizzaplex. Now we start to get into like the Pizzaplex as a setting, which would be beautiful. Oh my god. But, and you know, you can have fun with like the VR world, how it like slowly crumbles apart. I think this could be decent. Help Wanted, you can have some cool visuals with Help Wanted. Do like a live action FNaF 4 for Steve Snodgrass, that could be cool. I think Help Wanted could be a good one. Haps, B7, again, body horror, but this one's on like a kid. So, you know, body horror is one thing if it's like a teenager or an adult, wherever I put, Room for One More. Seeing body horror on a kid just wouldn't really be that enjoyable. Yeah. My tea to cool down. Pretty high. Are you British? Or do you just like tea? Somnophobia could be decent, I think. Could be decent. Pressure could be a good one. Like the setting, again, if it's again live action FNaF 3, like what we found. But it does kind of lose some of the aura because Springtrap's not really Springtrap. So maybe I'll bring it down to like there. There. Yeah, B7 would get banned in every single country. Oh, you're Aussie. That's right. You've said that before. Cleithrophobia. Cleithrophobia could be like a very hard watch if you're like claustrophobic. So I think, and again, it's in the Mega Pizzaplex, which is cool environmental wise. I think Cleithrophobia could be a good one. Submechanophobia would basically just be a better Felix the Shark. Animatronic Apocalypse could be a fun one, but it depends on how they would handle like the weirder stuff. But you can have fun with it. And then Bobby Dots. The Fastplex Tower would be a great like setting. Kitty is also now under my bed, by the way. She's causing all sorts of chaos today.
Shopping for your next car?
Nope. You could do like a 2-part special with Bobby Dots for Bobby Dots 1 and 2. So I think for that, I'll put it high. GGY. Oh god, why'd you say RIP? Thalassophobia? What is thalassophobia? Thalassophobia. Oh. Yeah, that would be a hard watch, yeah. GGY, I think, would be the best Tales story. Like, straight up. There's a lot of mystery there. It involves the Mega Pizzaplex. Yeah, I think GGY would be a good one. Storyteller. Nothing too special. Nexi. Probably wouldn't be that good of a story. Drowning. Again, you could have some cool, like, water visuals. I feel like Drowning could look very, like, Backrooms-esque, because, I mean, that kind of is what it is. So this one could be cool. Mimic. Pretty much just live-action Secret of the Mimic. Would be cool. Would be cool. Tiger Rock. This one would rely heavily on, like, visuals. But I don't think it would be that good. I'm going to move Storyteller above Frailty. Yeah. They cropped out the foot you can see in this image. Monty Within would be a funny one, but I don't know how good it would be. Bleeding Heart would be gross. No one wants to see a human heart get cut out of a body. Like, there's body horror, and then there's just gross. Oh, Kitty's cleaning herself now. Jesus. B72, again. Alone Together. I mean, pretty much the Sixth Sense in, like, a TV show form. Can't go wrong with that. You really can't go wrong with that. And then Didophobia. Again, live-action FNaF 4. Didophobia could be good. Like, really lean into, like, the loneliness of the setting and the atmosphere. The props. Like, every prop would have to be covered in dust. Oh, that could be a good one. This could be a really good one. The Mimic epilogues, I don't think are nearly as strong as the Stitch Wraith Stingers. So I'm gonna put it, like, there. It would pretty much just be like your basic, your generic slasher movie is what the epilogues would be. The Monster. I don't know. Bottom C tier. Monster is a really weird story. Yeah, you can have cool visuals with, like, the fire and stuff, so maybe, like, there. There. And there we go. That is the tier list. That is the tier list of which Five Nights at Freddy's stories would make the best TV episodes. Am I blocking some of them? I feel like I'm blocking some of them. I'll zoom back out. There we go. This was a fun one. Different from the other ones, which is good. What's Monster? It's a... I think it was a scrapped Tales story that got included in a Walmart release of one of the Tales books. And the community doesn't like it, except Party Hat. Also, we got through the tier list without it crashing! Both of your favorite stories are in C tier? Really? Count the Ways in Monster. That's... Kitty, what are you doing to my bag? That thing's older than you. Sorry about that, Party Hat. What are you doing to my bag, honey? What are you doing? You're being a silly kitty, that's what you're doing. Well, we got through that about as quickly as I thought I would. Let me pause the background music for a second. Kitty is now lying on the floor being a rascal. I'm still, like, a little upset that, like, some messages just don't work. I'm gonna try stuff. No, that's not what I want. Nope, not that. Okay, well, whatever. YouTube is a mysterious thing. Okay, what are you doing? She found a plushie from under my bed, and she's biting it. She's trying to eat a plushie she found under. This cat is not real. This cat's not real. What are you doing? Honey, that was a Valentine's Day gift from my mom. You can't eat that. Rascal. 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 No, that's the... Why are you... What are you doing, honey? I think she's bored. I think Kitty's bored. Why is chat sending dots? Well, if you guys have any ideas for what we could do for the rest of the stream. Valentine's Day gift from my mom. Because my mom loves me. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for what we could do for the rest of the stream. Chat is flabbergasted. I have a mom. Yeah, I don't know. Kitty, I don't want you cleaning yourself next to me. Actually, let me check something real quick. Since we finished the tier list, let me check something. Let me check something. What? Okay, whatever. By their names? I don't know. I feel like there's not really that much there to talk about. I think, honestly, I think we are at the point now. I think we're at the point now where there's just, like, no more tier lists we can really do unless they're, like, obscure ones. Which, don't get me wrong, the obscure ones are fun, but they're not really... I don't know how to describe it. They're fun, but they're not... I don't know how to describe it. It's a weird feeling. True, it is better than nothing. I did, I floated this idea around last stream of doing, like, Fortnite tier lists. And I did, think about it this morning in the shower. As I was showering, obviously. I think Fortnite tier lists would be a good one. There's a lot of content you can do there with, like, seasons by lore, battle pass, different weapons, maps, events, stuff like that. Could be fun. My problem there is the majority of these streams have been FNaF. I think all of them have been FNaF, like the tier list streams. So to just do Fortnite like that, sure, they might do fine, but if it's not something that you guys aren't interested in, I obviously don't want to do it. Rankings. Rank your previous... I have thought about going back and, like, updating my previous tier lists, but I don't know where they are. I lost them all. I should have saved them. We're about to get a crazy idea from Frick Bears. Yeah, I do really wish I saved my tier lists. Ranking animatronics by how valuable they would be? I don't know. I feel like I might not be in a good position to rank that just because I'm not like that versed in like robotics and technology and stuff like that. Help Wanted and Help Wanted 2 minigames? That could be a good one. Let me look that up. That could be a decent one. We could always do the Smash or Pass. We could do the Smash or Pass for Five Nights at Freddy's. FNaF Help Wanted minigames tier list. Yeah, so these two. We do like Help Wanted mini games, and this one has Curse of Dreadbear, which is good. And then Help Wanted 2. This is a good one. If you want, we can do this one now. Just because, again, I feel like the one we just did, this would be a shorter one. So we can bust this one out now if you guys want. Just because, you know, we've only been going for 40 minutes. Dude. Freaking Ballora staring at me at 3 a.m. Oh, I'm not going to be scared. Here, let me get the background music back, I guess, if we're going to do this. It's a little quiet. Nope, that's Microsoft Teams. There we go. Alright. Help Wanted minigames tier list. I'm going to get rid of F tier. I don't like that one. Don't know why these aren't... I guess they are in order. Okay, now it feels a little loud. I don't know. I was watching back one of my streams, and I noticed how quiet the background music is, but, like, I don't know. I also need to be able to think, so... FNaF 1. Oh, I forgot to loop it, I think. No, I did. FNaF 1 would be S tier. I mean, it's just FNaF 1. It's fun enough. As fun as you can make a VR FNaF 1. FNaF 2 is good, but it's a little, you know, the mechanics kind of get lost when you translate into VR. FNaF 3, same thing. Plus the phantoms don't work as well. Night Terrors is very effective, very scary. Plus, I like the baby minigame. I think that one's different and unique. The timeline thing. I remember you connecting Follow Me to the sister location place in Remnant. How it would work if he actually came to Freddy's for Remnant. If Afton actually came to Freddy's to get Remnant, that means he still has access to sister location and all the experiments. But he doesn't know he's going to die, so he had no reason to tell Michael to go free his sister. Even when he died, he had no way of telling him that. So, the way I have it, right, on the Remnant thing, which you're talking about, I think the reason William tells Michael to put her back together and whatever, this is how I see it. William gets the Remnant from the classics, right? Injects it into the Fun Times. He notices the Fun Times start acting up. He sends Michael down to the bunker, put her back together or whatever, so that he can get the experiment results from seeing, like, what the heck's up with the Fun Times. William then goes back to the safe room to get Spring Bonnie so that he can, you know, try to ease them. Because, you know, Spring Bonnie, that's how Spring Bonnie works in the movies and the books. That's how I see it. I do get what you're saying, Entity. And the timeline of sister location is just weird in general. And its correlation to Follow Me and stuff like that. No explanation's perfect. Like you said, it's either you go with that explanation or you have to explain how Springtrap from behind a wall tells him to go. It's a lot, and it's smushed together. I don't like it, but that's how we make Molten MCI work. That's true, Frick Bears, yeah. Yeah, the Withers aren't even in FNaF 2 VR, except their own mode. Parts and Service, I think that's what this is called. I don't remember. This one's good. This is the best one from Help Wanted. Same with Vent Repair, because they're different, right? They take characters in settings that make sense, and they create new experiences with them. That's what FNaF VR should be about. That's why I don't like Molten Freddy. True. No, this one's Night Terrors. Oh, no, this is Night Terrors. This is the, Afraid of the Dark, I think it's called, with, like, Plush Trap and Balloon Boy. It has the plush babies, so it has to go down to B tier. Plus, you know, there's not that much different between Plush Trap and Balloon Boy's levels, so. And then I guess they have them individually. Which is a little weird. but okay. Yeah, that is a little weird. In that case, I'm not going to include them then. Because I think that's silly. We'll keep the images for FNaF 1, 2, and 3, but we'll do everything else on their own. Dark Rooms, that's what it's called. So Plush Traps level is fine. Balloon Boys is fine. Plush Baby, D tier. Funtime Foxy is... Normal Funtime Foxy is fine. Also, they don't have hard mode on here. Don't know about this tier list. Probably should have found a different one, but whatever. Normal Funtime Foxy is fine. Hard mode I still haven't beaten, so we'll put it C tier. All the repairs are going into S tier. They're perfect. Wouldn't change a single thing about them. Mangle Vent Repair, again, perfect.
For your next car?
Nope. Ennard Vent Repair, again, perfect. Funtime Freddy's level, I don't know if it's still as broken as it was on launch, but if it is, then that's not good. Funtime Freddy's FNaF 4 bedroom level is really annoying. Getting jump scared by Bon Bon and Bonnet all the time. So I'm going to put this into C tier. I like the idea of it, but it's not the best. Like, Nightmare Ione and Nightmare Fredbear are much better recreations of FNaF 4's gameplay. So I'm putting those in A tier. Not, well, okay, Baby I'll put S tier, because I do really like her level. I'm going to move FNaF 1 down, actually. And I don't know, I like having to shine Nightmare Ione's tentacles. I think that's cool. Yeah, Funtime Freddy's level, when it first came out, was broken. Where Funtime Freddy just wouldn't kill you. That's how I beat it. That's how I beat that level. Glitch Trap and Pizza Party. Pizza Party is cool. I wish it wasn't locked behind beating all the other levels, but I know why it is. So I'll put it top of B tier. Plus the ending with Glitch Trap is really cool. You should make a guard. You should make a guide party hat. That'd be a good idea. Now we move into Curse of Dreadbear. Plush Babies. This one's probably even more difficult than the original one, just because of the loud-ass crows. Foxy's Pirate Ride is S tier. Yeah. Foxy's Pirate Ride is S tier. Nothing's topping these four, though. These are like... Mwah. Corn Maze is... alright. I like it. It's good. Hallway Crawl. Again, taking characters in a setting that's familiar, with characters that make sense, and, you know, changing it up works really well. So I think this one is an A tier as well. Mangle, it's alright. I like the idea, but it's not really that... It's not perfect. Trick or Treat is fun. It's fun. Dreadbear, not really a fan of. I like the idea of the Dreadbear level, but I think just the way it plays is a little tedious. Alright, this is Help Wanted 1 done. On to Help Wanted 2. Arts and Crafts Daycare. This is going to sound funny. I've never played this version. I've never played Arts and Crafts Daycare. My sister wanted to play it. She beat it. I never went back and replayed it. So I don't know. I think it's good, though. Salon Staff Makeover is fine. The Roxy ones are better. These ones they're just fine in general. Arts and Crafts Loft is one of the 2 levels I haven't beaten. This one, just because of how difficult it is. Endo Warehouse is also one I haven't beaten because of how difficult it is. So those are like the only 2 D tiers, I think. Bonkabon is fun. It's fun. Bonus Round is not really anything that special. Phasor Blast is cool. FNaF 2 is a little iffy. I like the boss fight in FNaF 3. Western is cool. It's cool. And then the FNaF 1 version is cool. I think Western is the best Phaser Blast, though. Don't come at me. Yeah, DJ Music Man's a cool level. Oh yeah, there's an Endo level. It's a matching game. Very difficult when you got Endos coming at you from every side. And your memory isn't that great. Your favorite level in Help Wanted is Nightmare Own. Second, it's Endo Warehouse. Really? My favorite in the original? Probably the Bonnie repair. Help Wanted 2? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Yeah, DJ Music Man, the original is really good. The original is very good. Advanced is, you know, it's advanced. Pro. It's cool seeing ruined DJ Music Man, but I don't know. Just doesn't have the same aura as these two. Bonnie Bowl is okay. Bonnie Bowl is a cool idea in concept, but oh my god, is it annoying to bowl in VR. I have to put it in C tier. It's not... I like the idea. I like having to fend off Moon, but yeah, no, it's not easy. Entity, you've broken my heart. How can you like something more than FNaF? No, that's okay. Cold Storage is a good opening to the game. It's a good opening to the game. Also, I don't know why I haven't put any in S tier yet. I feel like I should. I'll put Western up there. That's it for now. First Aid Pig Patch is way too easy. I know it's the beginner level, but still. Lefty, fine. Scrap Baby's the coolest, obviously. The Fizzy Faz levels are good. I would say they're good. They're like... yeah, they're just good. I like them. They're good. Hi, Glitch. You're a little late. We already finished the TV episodes tier list. Now we're just ranking the Help Wanted minigames. Yeah, bowling in VR is a nightmare. Oh my god. Dude, I have not gotten that turkey achievement, or whatever it's called. Oh yeah, the Gobble Gobble one, yeah. L-Chips is fun. I like L-Chips. Probably the most replayable minigame. Pizza Pizza can be finicky. The theater... dude, just... you add the endos into something and I don't like it. Carousel's cool. I'm kind of nostalgic for this one. Captain Foxy's Log Ride I don't think is as good as the original one, but I like the music. I like the music. Cinder Carousel, it's cool how it's on fire and how that ties into like Fall Fest. Ballora Gallery is more difficult than it should be. Breaker Room's cool. Hard Reset is whatever. Pog Patch. I'm assuming you meant Pig Patch, but Pog Patch is funny. Private Room is way too easy. Puppet Master's good, but I think Funtime Gang is the best out of all the office levels. Job Interview is whatever. Okay, now the music's a little too loud. And then Princess Quest 4 is obviously just the best. So, if I had to choose a favorite minigame, Help Wanted, it would be Bonnie Repair. Help Wanted 2, if we're counting Princess Quest, I would say that. If not, probably L-Chips. But I'll keep Phaser Blast Western above it, just because it is technically better. Yeah, as you can tell by the ranking, obviously Help Wanted 2 has more levels, but a lot of them are just kind of mid, kind of whatever. It has high highs, but there's a reason Help Wanted 2 wasn't, you know, as popular as the original. And we'll leave that there. Yeah, Captain Foxy might as well be the main character of the Help Wanted games, yeah. Glitch, if you want, I can show you what we did for the TV episodes, although I don't know where I put it. There it is. Yeah, this is what we came... This was our decision for the tier list on books to shows. Most of them would be pretty meh, some filler, but, you know, Frights would carry. He is a pogger. This is true. Yeah. I liked that. I liked the minigames tier list. That was a good one. That was a good one. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think. Why is it so difficult to come up with ideas? How long have we been going for? Not even an hour yet. I don't know. I mean, we can keep going if you guys want. I got nothing to do. Benefits of unemployment. Well, not unemployment. Benefits of only working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a blessing and a curse. Yeah, Frickberries, if you want to send that idea. Guys, what if we try to decode Glitch's timeline? Let me check something. Did I read your question? I think I did. Oh, no, I've never played it. This man only plays Five Nights at Freddy's. Chat, we're officially out of ideas. I think I am gonna try. The next stream will be I don't know when the next stream's gonna be, but it will be a Fortnite tier list, just because I want to try it out, see how it does on the channel. If you guys don't want to show up for it, that's obviously fine. If you're not into Fortnite, then don't want to force you to be there. Neither does he. But, you know, I'm going to try it out, see how it does. If it does bad, we won't continue it. If it does good, we'll stick with it. That's true. I will have more ideas if I play more horror games. Ranking on FNaF World, where you rank the animatronics on how good they are, or UCN tier list, or how you rank them on how hard they are. Yeah, we can do a quick little UCN difficulty tier list. Why not? Why not? Let me pull that up real quick. This one? Nope, that's pre-made. This one? Oh yeah, and this one's already made for difficulty too. Oh, Glitch, we're gonna do a tier list now based on UCN characters difficulty, because we're out of ideas. We'll keep these rankings, I guess. I don't love having this many different tiers, but whatever, it makes it more accurate, I guess. Freddy Fazbear. If you know how to deal with Freddy, also we are on the screen, right? Yep. If you know how to deal with Freddy, he's super easy. I'm gonna get rid of this tier. I don't know why it's... Oops, where'd Freddy go? This one, Freddy's easy. If you know how to deal with Freddy, literally just literally close the door every time you go to flip the camera up. Super easy. Condiment tier list. I haven't tried enough condiments to do that. Bonnie is so easy you don't have to try. This might be a really not unpopular opinion, but you know, I really struggle with Chica. I really struggle with Chica in UCN. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't play with headphones. That's probably it. But like, dude, even when I hear her, like the way her audio is, there's a gap in her audio where the clanking and clamoring of pots and pans stops, and that always gets me. That always makes me think, all right, she stopped. I gotta change the music. Oh no, she didn't, and I'm dead. I hate Chica's mechanic in UCN. Seriously, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I would say Chica's harder than Nightmare Marion. That might be a crazy thing to say. I think Chica is 10 times harder to deal with than Nightmare Marion, and probably Nightmare Balloon Boy. I think she might be the hardest character in this game, honestly. Okay, maybe not the hardest. She's one of the hardest. I don't know why she does. I don't know why I don't see people complain about her. I don't know why I don't see people need to complain about her more. Anyway, Foxy, medium. Phone guy, super easy. Toy Freddy, again, he's up there difficulty wise. Toy Bonnie is easy. Same with Toy Chica. Balloon Kids, you don't even really have to try. Withered Bonnie, mask. Withered Chica, I think for all the vent characters, if you close the vent door before you flip up the cameras, it works like Freddy. So I'm going to put them all in the same spot. Yeah, Toy Freddy. Yeah, especially when you play UCN on console. Puppet is... If you forget about the puppet, that's how she gets you. So I'll put her difficult. I'm going to get rid of some of these tiers, actually. I don't like these. Yeah. Golden Freddy can be annoying, but, you know, if as long as you notice him, it's fine. Toy Gamer. Toy Gooner. Springtrap is really easy. The Phantoms can be annoying, but, you know, they can't kill you, so. Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare, they're fine. They're fine. The plushies, you can camera stall them. So, technically they are easy. But if we look at them just, like, mechanics-wise, yeah, getting that many coins in a run, especially if you're doing, like, 50-20, can be hard. Nightmare Freddy's easy. Nightmare BB, he's obviously difficult. Same with Nightmare Own. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the pretty hard tier. This is why I don't like having too many tiers on my tier list. I feel like it splits people up too much. Jacko Chica, I don't like having to manage the temperature in UCN. But I wouldn't say she's, like, as hard as, like, these two. Ballora's, whatever. Funtime Foxy is annoying. Ennard is easy. L Chips is really easy. Helpy's easy. Yeah, I know you can camera stall Rockstar Chica. I think I've done that before. Lefty, again, temperature characters are annoying, but yeah. Funtime Chica. Funtime Chica. Trash in the Gang, you can't really do anything about them. Molten Freddy's easy. Scrap Babies, easy-ish. Easy enough. You just have to be paying attention. Scrap Trap can catch you off guard. Especially if you're on console. Rockstar Freddy is fine. I mean, you just have to use the heater on him, I guess. Bonnie can get you. I've died a few times to Bonnie. Especially in, like, runs with a lot of characters. Chica's whatever. Foxy, you just don't have to click him. Music Man's got me a few times. The mediocre melodies, I wouldn't say they're, like, hard per se, but they can be annoying. Especially, again, when you're dealing with a lot of characters. Music Man's easy. Lolbit, I don't even remember how you deal with Lolbit on console. So I'll put her there. Mini arenas are annoying. Plush Trap, I think you just have to, like, click him. So that's fine. Shadow Bonnie you can't really deal with, but it's fine. Bonnet is easy. Nightmare Chica, you have to turn on, like, the... I think it's... You gotta do something weird with Nightmare Chica, but it's not hard. Fredbear, you can't really die to him unless you go out of your way to do it. Dee Dee is annoying, and XOR is whatever. I'm gonna move Funtime Foxy there. I feel like these three... Okay. For me, these three are the hardest in UCN. In general, I would say it's these four are the ones that people struggle with the most. But, you know, these two are a skill issue, so... Dude, the puppet's gender. It's a funny thing. Yeah, so most of the characters, if you know what you're doing, are easy to deal with. Some of them can be annoying, and there are a few that really suck. Another tier list in the bag. Dude, we're banging these ones out. We're banging these out. We're banging them out. Yeah. Yeah, I think the puppet, like the actual animatronic, is a male, but Charlie's obviously a female. Or, you know, well, I don't know. I guess UCN calls it a he, so I don't know. Tails attraction tier list. Let me see if that exists. Actually, I'm not attracted to any of the Tales from the Pizzaplex stories, but thanks for asking. Attractions tier list. Yeah, I don't think that exists. There's stories, but we've done that before. And besides, we all know the God, what's the roleplay area. We all know the roleplay area would be top. Let me see if there's like a mega pizzaplex. Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook. Oops, I might have just messed up the camera. I did. There we go. No, there's nothing there. Someone on Reddit made it. Like, this is the closest thing I could find. How would you rank the attractions in the Pizzaplex from best to worst? Alright. Main Atrium Stage, Daycare Theater, Fazzer Blast, Roxy Raceway, Bonnie Bowl, Fazcade, East Arcade, Mazercise, Monty Golf, the Chica's Cupcake Area, and Rockstar Row. The Urban Legends Role-Playing Auditorium. I feel like I want to do this on like a document so we can keep track of it. Man, let me pull up Notepad. Alright, we're going to do this on a notepad. Watch this, guys. Bada bing. Alright, here is our Mega PP Attractions tier list. Not really a tier list. I guess it's just a ranking. Alright. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last place. Chat, which one of these do you think is the lamest? I don't know. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. We'll just keep it on this. Chat, which one of these do you think is the lamest? Yeah, Entity, we took the story into account when we ranked the games. Last place. Probably Mazercise. No. I'll the Cupcake Area. Because at least Mazercise, there's something to do, whereas Chica's Cupcake Area is just the bakery is just it's a bakery. So I think that one is last place, but I will put Monty Golf after it. Not Monty Golf. I will put Mazercise like there. Like yeah. Not as fun as the other attractions. Bro has Rockstar Row last? Really? I think I would put Rockstar Row 9th place. Yes, it's not as much to do. Like Mazercise is, kind of like it's more an attraction, but I think it would be cool to just see the history of Fazbear's, especially like in universe, like if you're a fan of Freddy's, just to see like old parts and posters and stuff would be cool. And you can meet the Glamrocks. 8th place. I know. Let me see. I might be confusing the East Arcade and the West Arcade. I just want to double check. Okay, East Arcade is the Super Starcade. Wait, how did I get it on this screen? Oh, yeah. Yeah. East Arcade, kind of lame. It has the ball pit, which is cool. But compared to the West Arcade, which has DJ Music Man, come on. Seventh place. Okay, now we start to get into like my personal preference. Probably the Daycare Theater. Just, I don't know. I would rather watch a live performance than a stage show. Then after that, probably Roxy Raceway. I feel like some of you guys might have it in your top 5, but I'm not a fan of racing. But, you know, still for the hype moments, I gotta put it 6th. Then I would put the Fastcade. Then I would do Bonnie Bowl. I love bowling, but like visually, Fazer Blast and Monty Golf are above it. Then I would put like the main atrium. I think watching a performance live would be incredible. Then I would put Fazer Blast. And then first place would be Monty Golf. Because I love me some putt-putt. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I don't know why there's not like a tier list that's like Mega Pizzaplex, like, I guess rooms. Oh, Tails Games, how we miss you so. Circleplex. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this ranking. Well. Ugh. I'm getting old. I have a Star Wars t-shirt on. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, we really are out of ideas for tier lists now. That are like, you know, that would be entertaining. Other than Fortnite, but we're going to try that next stream. We'll see how that one goes. I'm trying to think if there's anything like similar to tier lists, right? Like, some of the things we do, like, on stream. We've done tier lists. We've done FNaF quizzes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that is similar to those. That's like on the web. That would be easy for a stream. That's like kind of something you guys can follow along with, but not to the extent of like a Kahoot. I'm trying to think if there's anything like that. If there is, let me know. There's like character brackets, but I don't like those. I think those are BS. For every Circleplex mentioned, they remove one attraction. The roleplay area. Dude, Godspeed to your Tails timeline. Yeah. Let me close this. They hit the Chica. I completely forgot about the Chica swings. Holy crap. Yeah, FNaF Kahoots. We could try a FNaF Kahoot, but in my opinion, don't take this the wrong way. Kahoots are kind of really like only fun when there's like a lot of people playing them. Plus having to like manage it and play it at the same time I think would be kind of difficult. Maybe one day we'll do a Kahoot. Maybe one day. I mean, unless you guys want to try one right now. But I don't know. I guess, we technically haven't done a stream yet of going through my timeline, but I don't know if I'm going to do that because we've already done, like, we already did the tier list, the timeline tier list, which was, as close to a timeline as we'll get. Plus, I did do a stream where I did go through my timeline in Google Slideshow form, so probably not. I'm down. I mean, you know what? Let's try it out. You never know until you try. Let me see if I can find a good FNaF Kahoot. Please don't show me anything weird. Kahoot. What am I looking at? Alright, no. I want a... Chat, what do I want? Timeline would be cool. Alright, hang on. Hold the phone. Bernie Boy wants to check something. Bernie Boy is checking something. Okay. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Bro's bored. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Do I even still have the timeline, like, slideshow? I don't even know if I do. I might have deleted it, but I don't see why I would. Yeah, I do still have it. Alright. Glitch. I don't think you were around whenever we did this. The Five Nights at Freddy's timeline. This stream's just turned into whatever. This is outdated now too. When did I last edit it? January 8th. Yeah, I've already changed my opinion on a lot of stuff. Plus, it's really simplified, but we'll still go through it. And I'm keeping the face cam. I know I turned it off when we actually went through this. Full timeline available here. Book stuff. Yeah. 1970. William and Henry create Fazbear Entertainment and Fall Fest. Yes, I'm going to go through this and see if I still agree with what I said. William has 3 kids, Michael, Garrett, and Elizabeth. Henry has Charlotte. Yes. 2 characters stand out among the rest, a brown bear named Freddy and a blue bunny named Bonnie. The characters at Fall Fest... Yes, so I didn't include it here, but I think Fredbear's Singing Show... Actually, no, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to go through my actual timeline, because that one's, like, a lot more detailed. Forget I ever went on that. That never happened. You didn't see anything, guys. Yeah. Dude, recent changes. We got patch notes on a FNaF timeline. Oh. And yes, I still believe in Stitchline games. And yes, I still believe Tails secondary. Fight me. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all of this. Yeah, I think Bite Victim's name is Garrett. The reason I think Bite Victim's name is Garrett is because it's the closest thing we have to a confirmed name for it. And, Abby is... They patched Mike Guard. That's funny. Yeah. Abby is a nickname for Elizabeth. It's not used commonly, but it is a nickname, and it's an anagram for baby. And everyone else's names match up, so I don't see why Garrett would be any different. And it's more confirmed than Dave. Welcome back, Frick Bears. We're, I guess, going through my FNaF timeline now. Bro made a Fazburger. Yeah, they patched Mike Guard. That's funny. Okay. I guess we can go through some of, like, the blue controversial stuff. So, in Tales from the Pizzaplex, they mention Fazbear Enterprises. I take that as being the parent company of Fazbear Entertainment. Fazbear Enterprises probably owns, like, Fazbear Foods, Fall Fest. In the future, Afton Robotics is probably under that wing. Same with like Circus Baby and all that stuff. Willow Whisper, I remember seeing that on Twitter a little bit ago. They probably own that too because it appears in Help Wanted and Security Breach. I think Fazbear Enterprises is the thing above Fazbear Entertainment. I know a lot of people don't talk about Fazbear Enterprises because it's from the books and it's only mentioned in, I think, The Mimic. But, you know, I think it's just something worth including. I like having an umbrella company, which Fazbear Entertainment is a part of, and so is Circus Baby. I like having that more than having Circus Baby be under Fazbear Entertainment. That's what I think. That's what I think. It's my woke opinion. Alright, continuing on. See, my hotkey to switch between full screen and not full screen is the plus and minus button, so I have to like go into OBS every time I want to switch. Otherwise, I type on here. Yeah. True. It's in the name, entertainment. Very true. And then, of course, Fazbear Foods is for food. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Late 60s, Edwin is working for his father, Edwin Murray Sr., which comes from the portrait name. All the blue stuff is like, details that aren't agreed upon or aren't immediately clear. That's why some of these have blue highlighted stuff. Edwin meets Fiona. Edwin and Fiona go to Fredbear's singing show. They meet Afton and Henry. They have David on December 6th, 1969, which I don't know if I agree. I go back and forth on how old David was when he died all the time. I do not have a solid answer. On one hand, like it really just comes down to like the birthday reels and the achievement icon. The achievement icon has 6 candles. The last 2 are drooping down, but there's 6 in total. The birthday reels imply that he died when he was 5. So, I don't know. I don't know how old David was when he died. I have him die when he's 6 in this, I think. But it can go either way. I know... Yeah, 5 or 6. That's what most people say he is. That he either died when he was 5 or 6. I couldn't tell you which one I believe. I just have him as 6, because why not? Anyway, back to timeline. 1970, the first Fall Fest happens. David's first birthday. Chica's Restaurants creates Chica's Party World. This is just a bunch of Secret of the Mimic slop. Like, timeline stuff. Not slop, but, early stuff. I wouldn't say this stuff's boring to me, but it wasn't really that fun to, like, write, Chica's Party World, stuff like that. I don't know why. I think Secret of the Mimic just gave us too much. Yeah, Fiona dies in 72, which, again, I don't know. If David's born in 1970 instead of 69, nice. Fiona dies in 73. That's how I take it. Yeah, Edwin creates M1, blah, blah, blah. 75, Chica's Restaurants bought out by Fazbear Entertainment. Lost Fazbear Entertainment's returned to Edwin. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, that's my hot take. I think Secret of the Mimic gave us too much. Not like... Maybe too much isn't the right word. No, it's not the right word. Obviously, this was our Origins game. We needed this. I just didn't think it would be so much. Like, I didn't think that, Chica and Foxy both came from, different companies, MCM and Chica's Restaurants, and then they combined with Fredbear's. Like, I think the beginning of the timeline is very complex. Like, I don't like Fredbear being a brown bear and then turning yellow and then Freddy's created. I wish Fredbear was just always golden. I think making him brown and making him named Freddy is very complicated. I know it's not a Secret of the Mimic issue, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think too much is the right word. I think some parts are just more complex than they needed to be. I wouldn't say Secret of the Mimic is mid, not at all. I just think it's a lot to take in. Do you think Lefty was made to capture the puppet? They became one? I would say no. I think an animatronic inside an animatronic is different from a spirit possessing an animatronic. Business slop. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's completely fair. That's fair. That's valid. I get that. I get that. It's just not for me, I don't think. Arnold, rest in peace. Godspeed, Arnie. The events of Secret of the Mimic happen. I do like this line. This is the end of the game after Arnold dies. Rest in peace. This, I don't know. It's unknown what happens to the Mimic after it steals Arnold's data diver. We know that Fazbear Entertainment will eventually have control of a deactivated Mimic, although how they are able to neutralize it is unclear. It could potentially involve Fall Fest, Mixus, and Model 2s of the Mimic. Hopefully, if we get DLC for Secret of the Mimic, it will clear up what happens after the game. But for now, this is the end of Murray's Costume Manor, and Edwin's legacy is one of grief, loss, and suffering. I really like that last line. I think that's really, really good. Yeah. And then we get to this. We get to 1983. Freddy's opens. Balloon Boy, I think, could have been at the first Freddy's if Ticket to Fun's anything to go by. Yeah, that's True Glitch, yeah. Fazbear Entertainment's popularity is definitely downsized. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they're so present in Secret of the Mimic's story, but I don't know. I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, and like, back at the diner, Fredbear's hat is changed to purple to match his bow tie, and he no longer has the nickname Freddy. Bonnie's turned yellow, and is named to Spring Bonnie. Like, I hate that stuff. It should have always just been Fredbear. He's Fredbear, he's yellow, he has purple. I get it's to match with, like, Edwin wearing purple and stuff like that, but it's just so unnecessarily complicated. We didn't need that. In my opinion. Garrett sees someone suiting up, which he thinks is a murder. I think Fredbear plush is imaginary. I know William talking to him is a big theory, but I don't know. The big bite happens. Midnight Motorist happens in October because of the Silver Eyes. William drives to Freddy's again. Ticket to Fun. My goat. This is when Charlie dies. Blah blah blah. I have Fall Fest stopping in 1983. I think Fall Fest 83 is the last Fall Fest. I know there's a carnival in Tales that happens when the Pizzaplex is being built, but I think they could have brought back Fall Fest. And I know FNaF AR has the Dark Circus, but I don't think Fall Fest is happening, like, in the 2000s, like the early 2000s. I think it stops at some point, and 83 is the latest we have for Fall Fest, so I just think that's... Same with, like, 1970 is the earliest year we have for Fall Fest, so I think that's when it opens. I think 83 is the latest year for Fall Fest, I think that's when it stops. For now, at least. Oh yeah, it's never said to be a Freddy's-themed carnival. That's true. That's true. That's true. So it could just be an unrelated thing. Yeah. I do. Every time I bring up Midnight Motorist in like a timeline sense, I always make a point to include later that night in the wording for it, because I love that. Yeah, this guy believes in Faz cake. I think Michael's the runaway. I think Mrs. Afton is the couch person. I think that place is either the brother's grave or Freddy's. I don't think we have enough information to say what that place is. Shadow Freddy, I think, was born from the Big Bite. Do I have the footprints in here? Yeah. Oh, okay. I have the footprints as Shadow Freddy. I think I changed that one because I don't know. I know I argued for the footprints being Golden Freddy in a previous stream, but I'm going with Shadow Freddy now because it's the popular opinion. Bro is LARPing. This is a rant I'll go on. I don't really see people talk about this a lot. At the end of Midnight Motorist, William Afton says he will be sorry when he gets back. A lot of people dismiss that line. Let me preface this. It could just be, oh, whenever Michael gets home, I'm gonna make sure he learns his lesson. I think it could work if he will be sorry when he gets back. If that's referring to putting Michael in the experiment chambers and, creating them. I think it could work if it's like that. Like I just said, it's not perfect because, yeah. Okay, let's say this. In the events before Midnight Motorist, William Afton builds the fear experiments in the MCM tunnels after Bite Victim's death. He needs test subjects. I think it would work if he says, I need test subjects. My son ran away. Let me make sure he doesn't do that anymore by trapping him underground where he can become scared of the characters. That way it, two birds, one stone. It's not a perfect explanation, but I think if Michael ever is in the experiment chambers, that's the time to do it. After the events of Midnight Motorist, to stop him from running away. Which I guess would kind of mean that the place he runs to would have to be Freddy's. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it should be for the narrative. Curious to know what chat thinks of that. Because it's not an idea I really see people talk about, which is, fair enough. But, Midnight Motorist in general is just, it's been talked to death. Like, every idea has been said at one point. Like, 5 Laps at Freddy's, if it ever comes out, needs to explain Midnight Motorist, because it's been too long. Like, no one cares about that anymore. Mike experiments. Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, how else do you really explain the FNaF 4 nightmares if it's not Mike experiments or BV experiments? Like, unless you're saying that it's just Crying Child's bedroom. But, like, I don't know. I feel like that's too coincidental. I don't know. It's just such a big question mark. It's such a big question mark. Anyway, that's enough Midnight Motorist. Get that rotten minigame out of my timeline. Yeah, I think Afton discovers Remnant. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I should get rid of this. How did I never catch this? This is a remnant from when I didn't think Vanessa was an Afton. I'm really surprised I didn't catch this. Because I say, like, the exact same thing for Vanessa, so I gotta get rid of this. Chat, I'm curious. Whoops. What do you think happened to, like, Mrs. Afton? Do you think assume Vanessa's an Afton in the games. Do you think her mom is the same mom as Mike, Vanessa, Mike, Elizabeth, and Garrett? Or do you think she's a different mom? I always thought that Vanessa had a different mom, but I can see how the movies would support her having the same mom. I don't know. I think I would prefer if Vanessa had a different mom, but I guess the staff bot silo also means that... No, the staff bot silo, because Mrs. Afton there looks like Ballora. Okay, never mind. Plus, that does explain, like, if William's working all the time, who would take care of Elizabeth if she's literally a baby? Mrs. Afton, obviously. So, you know what? You guys are going to watch me live change something in my timeline. Get ready for this. I'm going to get rid of this entire sentence. Bye-bye! Yeah, these subjects would be kids who come from unloved homes, back to Fazbear Entertainment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Vanessa Afton is such a weird decision. I think it's canon, but, the FNaF 2 movie book is too scary. Do not show him the movie. Actually, no, it's not even scary at all. Do not show him the games. Do not show him FNaF 4. Yeah, Ralph stuff, Circus Babies opens. Yeah, he gets questioned by the Fazbear Entertainment board member, which this name comes from the character encyclopedia. I know the encyclopedias shouldn't be used for lore, but there's literally no problem with saying the person who talks to William at the start of Sister Location is a Fazbear Entertainment board director. Like, there's no problem there. Oh, he didn't say it wasn't scary. He didn't say it wasn't scary. So you're saying he didn't... Yeah. Let's see. I think Elizabeth dies on January 7th of 85, which comes from the 1578 Easter egg. Yeah, he didn't find it scary. I got what you meant after a while. Elizabeth dies. Afton kills Andrew. Then the MCI. I know some people think it's after. I think if Andrew dies after the missing children incident, it's more narratively satisfying that way. Especially if it's like Andrew Witness. But I think Return to the Pit is just too convincing of evidence for me. If Afton was such an important person, one of the owners of Fazbear Entertainment, and child murderer and psycho, it's weird that Vanessa's therapist doesn't mention more stuff about him. That's true. That's true. I don't really have a comeback for that. I don't really have a comeback for that. Yeah, I don't have a comeback. Unless she, like, changed her last name, but it obviously still starts with A because of the FNAF AR emails. Yeah. We got Timmy Douglas from Ticket to Fun. Bro is canon. Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental is opened, I think, at this point. Did Henry know about William's stuff? Did he know William is evil? That's a good question. I am gonna say yes and no. Depends on which part of the timeline you're talking about. I think at the beginning, Henry might have his suspicions that William killed Charlie. He might have suspicions that he killed the missing children incident victims. He might have suspicions about the DCI. Nothing to confirm it. Like, in the books, I don't know about the books. I don't really remember them exactly. By the time of FNAF 6, Henry is 100% certain. It seems like in between the events of, like, I guess the DCI and FNAF 6, Henry discovers something that changes his mind. Probably the blueprints. Like, he probably does find the insanity ending blueprints. That's when he realizes, oh my god, he really did do this stuff. Yeah. I don't know where he would find those blueprints from exactly. I kind of wish we had a story about Henry, like, before FNaF 6. So I think it just depends on the timeline, like when you're asking that. Probably not at first. He probably knew William wasn't a good person because of all the Edwin stuff, but he doesn't know about the murders until, like, FNaF 6 he knows for sure. Yeah. Good question. Freddy's reopens in 87. The DCI happens. Mangle bites Jeremy Fitzgerald. The Jax song. Dude, I don't know anything about Digital Circus. I never got into the Amazing Digital Circus. I think that's what Jax is from. 1993. Freddy's reopens. They're restored to their vintage looks. I'm going to actually say their vintage, classic. Ralph, this is when the week before happens. And then Mike works. Yeah, Mike works. Didophobia I have here, but I don't know. I think Didophobia does work here. Like, late 90s. Didophobia. Vanessa happens here. Yeah, see, I had Mrs. Afton killing herself twice. At some point in life, not bad. I'm gonna change this to Mrs. Afton. If I could spell correctly, that'd be nice. Sussy Pibby Among Us glitch. Let's see. Follow Me. Sister location. All within the same time period. Into the Pit, I think, is 2021. Book slop. Taking up too many pages of my timeline. This is where I have What We Found. She came alive and then died again. Yeah, I got rid of the sentence that said... I got rid of the whole part where she died before. Yeah, I think... let's see. What We Found... FNaF 3 is probably fall of 2023. What We Found takes place in autumn. Hudson... I liked writing What We Found. What We Found was a good story to write. I liked Hudson's backstory. This I might change. I don't know if I'm confident that FNaF 6 is Fredbear's Family Diner anymore. Big piece of evidence for that was assuming that Charlie died at Fredbear's, but she dies at Freddy's. So I don't think FNaF 6 is an old location anymore. I think it's just a new building that's maybe built upon the land where MCM once stood. Probably. So I have been meaning to change this for a while. So I'm just going to do this now, actually. Henry opens Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place on the land where... See, okay, this is actually a thing. Glitch. I know you kind of convinced me of Faz Cake. If we're saying that FNaF 6 was built upon MCM, which became sister location, Help 1 and 2 implies that Circus Baby's Pizza World was directly above the entertainment and rentals facility, what used to be MCM. Because in the breaker room level, there's like a piece of tape that says, I think it says Pizza World. So, I don't remember if you addressed this in your video. Do you think that Circus Baby's Pizza World was above... Do you think Circus Baby's Pizza World was in that same plot of land? Because, I mean, if Pizza World was above the rental service... Circus Baby's Pizza World above sister location makes no sense. Let me see if I can find the image. I swear it says Pizza World. to Breaker Pizza World. Yeah, here it is. Let me open this in a new tab. In Help Wanted 2, one of the breakers in the breaker room is labeled Pizza World, which implies that Circus Baby's Pizza World is probably within very close proximity if its power is coming from the rental service, like the bunker. Which, I mean, why not just put it above the location at that point? Plus, you know, I think Help Wanted 1, the entered vent repair level, I think hand unit says, "Welcome to Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental," and it's in a building where the walls look like pizzeria walls, so I can see it being, I can see it being that they just reuse the old Circus Baby's Pizza World building becomes the entrance to Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals. Yes, entity, that is true. They do pack up the equipment. Yeah, away from Pizza World. That is true. That is true. I just don't know how to explain away this. I just don't know how to explain the Pizza World breaker. Because, like, I don't think he has, like, wires running miles, you know, to a building. I think that'd be stupid. The worst retcon of all time. This is a very weird inclusion. I wouldn't be surprised if Scott doesn't know about this. I wouldn't be surprised if Scott has no idea that Steel Wool included Pizza World. Like, that's so weird. They're calling it Help Wanted 2 silliness. True. See, it could be an error, but, like, the FNaF 3 map in Secret of the Mimic is an asset they already had. This is a new asset. Someone at Steel Wool Studios had to type out Pizza World on their keyboard. Like, I really can't think of a way to explain this that isn't just, it's above the bunker. I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad we're doing this, though. I'm glad we decided to go through the timeline, because this is. I'm glad I have your guys' input. They're calling it Help Wanted 2 silliness. I'm gonna stick with it. Also, one second. My dad keeps coming home from work early. I don't know why. It's easier just to assume it's just the VR thing. I guess. But, like, if we're going to discredit that, then we kind of have to throw away the Molten MCI evidence with, like, the 4 endos and Help Wanted 1. Because that's kind of on the same level of Help Wanted silliness. I don't know. I'm just going to keep it. It's not that big of an issue. Like, the location of Circus Baby's Pizza World isn't that big of an issue. So, I don't see a problem in keeping it. Some sort of FNaF 4. Yes. My dad is Nightmare Fredbear. Bernie Dreamer. No, I'm Arnold. Glitch, you know that image you edited yesterday of me as the Hello Neighbor 2 guy? Look at that. I'm wearing a hat backwards like he did. It's a Gravity Falls hat. Bro might be Dipper. Okay. Yeah, let me change this. Circus Babies Entertainment and... Is it rental or rentals? Oops. Rental. Rental once stood. Yeah. I don't love that, but, you know. Hey, at least we have Faz Cake on here now officially. So, we take our dubs. Now my hair's all messy. Play Hello Neighbor. Dude. There's a reason I haven't done any streams that are like gameplay. like gameplay streams. I don't know if you guys remember the Secret of the Mimic playthrough videos, but those were rough. Like, dude, we moved at like 2 frames per second in some of those videos. I had to cut out the entire big top section because it was just so laggy. Like, and if I stream, it's worse. So there's a reason we just do like tier lists and stuff. Like gameplay videos, just there's something about my computer. It doesn't like when I record or stream gameplay. But it will be fun though. Okay. Yeah, FNaF 6 happens. I have FNaF World here too. Streams that are gameplay, like gameplay streams. UCN. Yeah, I have this disclaimer. It's worth noting that at this point, we don't get any solid, confirmed, or even largely agreed upon dates for a lot of the events, in the books mainly. So I'm a lot vaguer about when stuff happens. Hello, I'm your neighbor. This is where the Help Wanted story is, with Steven Snodgrass. Help Wanted. Coworker Jeremy. Longtime fan of Freddy's, who likes to collect memorabilia, like lunchboxes, and was also probably a technician at Circus Babies. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, OBS is real sensitive about that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think Jeremy is the same Jeremy from... I think Jeremy from Help Wanted 1 is the same person we play as in Help Wanted 2, purely because of the Candy Cadet story. I've never seen a single explanation for that story that isn't as satisfying as it just being Jeremy. Fazbear Frights post Help Wanted fella. I am. I have a video that kind of goes through that, actually. The Fazbear Renaissance, as it's called. It's, it's an unpopular opinion, but, I think just narratively it makes a lot more sense for, like, Fazbear Entertainment's return to, like, the public eye if they start out with the VR game. No, if they start out with the indie games, those blow up. Then we get the VR game, which is supposed to discredit those games. Then they open the locations. But I know it's a very unpopular opinion because it has Glitch Trap and William Afton coexisting, which is not really that good of a story idea. But again, Prankster is a retelling of Help Wanted, which is, it's a Fright story. So Scott clearly sees the story of Help Wanted as fitting in with the Frights era somehow. So, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love the idea, but I just think it makes the most sense. Which, sometimes with FNaF you just gotta do that. Even if something doesn't really make, like, narrative sense, if it has evidence, and if it's narratively satisfying, sometimes you just gotta choose whichever one has more evidence. And I think... Yeah. That is true. That is true, Entity. Yeah, Didophobias and Tails, for some reason. That is a really good... That is a good rebuttal, yeah. Yeah. Dude, I don't know why Didophobias and Tails. something modern Afton experiments. Modern Afton experiments, something. Actually, I do mention that in my timeline. Help Wanted's here. Vanessa becomes Vanny. This is where I have the stingers, which we're just gonna skip past all those because they take up like 15 pages of my timeline. Like the stingers and the stories associated with them. Then this is where we get the Pizzaplex. Blah, blah, blah. Back to Fazbear Entertainment. Thanks to the revenue from the VR games and their new locations, they begin construction of multiple Pizzaplex buildings. Holy tails. I know glitches. It's flipping out right now. Tales from the Pizzaplex has a story about the bunker. Yeah. Obviously this means that the Pizzaplex is built upon FNaF 3. You're right, yeah. I want a FNaF 4 story. Actually, let me clarify this. The Mega Pizzaplex, blah, 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 built over the location, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place, and by extension, the old MCM tunnels, which were turned into Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental. Since I believe in Fazcake now, I just want to clarify that, yes, Pizzaplex is above FNAF 6 and MCM/Circus Babies, which explains why there's a scooper down there. Edwin's Warehouse. Yeah. Oh, I still have the Mimic 1 program. Oops. Yeah, Mega Pizzaplex features the Glamrock animatronics, with characters such as Roxy, Monty, and revamped versions of Sun, Moon, and Music Man all returning, as well as a variety of fun games and attractions, with the majority of them running off the... I'm just going to say the Mimics, because Mimic 1 doesn't exist. Yeah, the Ruined Scooper is weird. I don't know why it's called a scooper. It's more like an injector, which, I mean, I guess, you know, the original scooper is an injector, but not to the point. Yeah, they're weird. Weird stuff. Can't believe I had the Mimic. Yeah, refer to M1 and M2 as Mimic 1 and Mimic 2. I kind of wish they did that. Like, obviously, you know, in the lore we have now, I don't think that would work. But, like, if Scott thought this out properly, I think having M1 be Mimic 1 and M2 be Mimic 2 would have been really cool. Like, that would have been super cool. Long hair keeps covering your eyes. I have that problem, too. So I get you there. Yeah, Fazbear Entertainment turns on planning FNAF 6 into a museum. The epilogues happen here. Pizzaplex opens in May of 2030. Yahoo! I am eagerly awaiting your Tails timeline glitch, just so I can see what we agree on. Do I mention Mimic 1 anywhere else in this timeline? Not 21. I do. Oh, it's because it's Storyteller, yeah. Why do I have it up here? What? No, stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I want to find that. We gotta purge Mimic 1 from this. He extracts the... Oh, I remember. Okay. The reason I said Mimic 1 earlier is because, for some reason I had it as when Edwin extracts F10 and 4 from the Mimic, from M1, that's when he creates the Mimic 1 program for David, but I think Mimic 1 is strictly a Tails thing. I don't think that carries over to the games. Hi, Joey. Yeah, let me get rid of that. I think that's just something that was overwritten. Storyteller still works without Mimic 1, I think. He extracts the F10 program from the Mimic's endoskeleton and reuses... Yeah, okay. We're purging the Mimic 1 system. One of those circuit boards contains a virus, the Mimics program. The Mimics program. Storyteller is running on the Mimics program. Tiger Rock is a branch of the Mimics program. I think there's no issues with that. Does the theory you said you believe now include sister location being built on MCM? You have to ask Glitch that. I don't... Fazcake, as I'm referring to it, Glitch's version, because he was the person who coined the term Fazcake, I think, that doesn't include sister location, so I'm taking it a step further. I'm saying Fazcake with a candle on top, and that candle is Circus Baby's Pizza World. Yeah, Joey, this stream's just turned into anything. We're just going through my timeline now and touching it up. I don't know how. I don't know why, but whatever. It's fun. It's about yes. Yeah. So let's see. May of 2030 it opens. This is where I have Frailty. Gregory gets corrupted by Vanessa. I don't know if it's that early, but whatever. Yeah, Frailty. I have Pressure in here because I think Burn Trap's body. I include Fazbear Frights in here. I include the man in room 1280. William Afton's body explodes and is not in Spring Bonnie anymore at the end of Frights. So the body that's used for Burn Trap either just doesn't exist, which maybe. Pressure is a story where a boy gets spring locked in a spring trap costume in the Mega Pizzaplex. I think it's fine to say that that body is what's used for Burn Trap. Because, like, then you have to say, like, oh, William's corpse is brought from the lake or whatever. It's, I don't know. Do you think Mangle did the bite of 87 or Foxy? Mangle. Mangle, 100%. If it was Foxy, the toys wouldn't be getting scrapped, I don't think. Name all the locations you believe are under the Pizzaplex. I need to know it. Okay. We'll go with timeline order. MCM is built there first, right? The factory and the tunnels beneath. Secret of the Mimic happens. The factory is gone, just the tunnels are there. The Aftons move into Edwin's house. Those tunnels are turned into the bunker. I don't know why I did this. The tunnels are used for William's experiments. Maybe Junior's is built there. I don't know. No matter what, Circus Baby's Pizza World opens in 85, directly above the bunker. It closes. The building is just used for Circus Baby's entertainment and rental. Flash forward to FNaF 6. Circus Baby's entertainment and rental has probably closed. FNaF 6 is built there. It burns down. Well, no, not really. It falls into a sinkhole. Then the Mega Pizzaplex is built on top of all that. So the Mega Pizzaplex is on top. Then it's FNaF 6. Then it's MCM/sister location. I think the only extra step I add to this, I think, is having Circus Baby's Pizza World be there. Because I don't think that's something that Glitch has in his video. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I watched it. That's what I think of Faz Cake. Such a weird... We are great at naming stuff, this community. Kelly Corpse. Dude. I remember when Kelly Corpse became a theory. I believed it, and then it got immediately disproven in the next book. What a time to be alive. It ain't? Okay. I call this Faz Cake 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, so I have Pressure here. This is where I have Storyteller, March of 32. 32, yeah. Storyteller, which then leads directly into Tiger Rock, which leads into Nexie, which I don't have in here because it's boring. This is where I start to get into the therapist tapes. What's it called? Yeah, therapists, blah, 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 therapy. This is where I have Glitch Trap invade FNaF AR. More therapy. I have the Vanny Mask here. Don't ask me to explain the history of the Vanny Mask. I don't know. This is where Glitch Trap invades the Mega Pizzaplex too, I think. Yeah, just a lot of, like, smaller stuff. I'm sure Glitch will cover this in his timeline. GGY I have here, but if I remember correctly, I think I was going to move it to 34 for some reason. Hang on. We know Fredbear's was opened before MCM was abandoned, and sister location is directly connected to Afton's house in Fredbear's. I'm assuming you think that the Afton house we see in FNaF 4's minigames is the same house we see in Midnight Motorist and Curse of Dreadbear and Secret of the Mimic. I think they're different houses. And I think the Fredbears we see on the map in Sister Location is a recreation of it. I say that because we know from Didophobia that the FNaF 4 bedroom is on the same floor as the bunker. The bedroom and Fredbears are both like colored the same. I don't see any reason why they would be on different floors. Oh, you don't believe they're the same house? Interesting. Fredbears would have to be moved to an area with complete... Well, no, I just think the Fredbears we see in Sister Location, it's just a recreation of it. Because Afton's already replicating Bite Victim's life with the bedroom and the nightmares. So, you know, I think it makes sense if he recreates Fredbears to try to recreate the accident. Do you mention the Freddy's that closed the year before Monty Within? Do you mention that? No. I think, you know... Yeah. No. Actually, Glitch, do you mention that in your timeline? I'm curious if you have anything to say about it. Because, you know, that could fit with my Fazbear Renaissance thing. No, Entity, it's okay. It's a complicated... That whole part of the timeline is just so complicated. Because we're dealing with Cawthon. Yeah, so this is where I have GGY. More therapists. Yahoo. Yeah, now we're in the year of security breach. All staff meeting. Arcade conspiracy, which... No. Okay, no, I don't have the all staff meeting yet. It gets set up with the staff bots, which are just there at nighttime. Then arcade conspiracy. Then all staff meeting. And yes, I do have the staff bots glitch. I think it's... You mentioned this in your stream yesterday. No one voted for the reagent on your poll. That's kind of crazy. I thought more people would believe that. Yeah, half the pieces are wrong or missing. Yeah, I agree, Glitch. Which, again, lines up with, you know, Frights being post-help wanted. Edwin's house, I believe, could be the MM house with other houses right by Fredbear's. Right. But, you know, if you say that the Fredbears we see in Sister Location is a recreation of it, then you don't have to tie down you don't have to tie down Fredbears to really anywhere. Because they move anywhere. So, that's my opinion. I was thinking about doing a video on it a while back, but I just never did. Maybe I should. Yeah. Okay, I do have modern Afton experiments in this timeline. Because, like, I don't know how else to explain the Endo warehouse. Like, the Nightmare Yon plushie being in a padded room with a TV screen about Moondrop's Sleepy Time candy. Like, I don't know. What year are we in? 2026. No, we're in 35 right now. I didn't go in depth to, like, the dates for the book stuff, just because Glitch is going to do that in his timeline video. Yeah. The modern Afton experiments, as I'm calling it, might just be a remnant of either Scott's older idea for the story or something Steel Wool added. Right, yeah, Entity, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have that much evidence for it, but, you know, it works with my explanation, so I like it. Do you have an image for that room? Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. FNaF Endo Daycare. What's it called? Nightmare Yon plush location. You can probably hear someone mowing their lawn very loudly outside. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Rise. Why can't I find this? Mimic foreshadowing? Could be. I'm trying to find this. FNaF Nightmare plush, as it's called. No, it's going to show me actual night. I can't find this. It exists. I promise you. Security breach. Okay, it's this room. Yeah, this one. This is it. This is the room I'm referring to. It's at, you know, you probably know what room this is. The padded room, Moon's sleepy time candy, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it appear in, like, more monitors than just this room? I don't know. So, like, if there is something going on down here, maybe the endos are being used as, like, the stand-in for the nightmare mannequins? I don't know. It probably does work better as mimic foreshadowing, because, like, it's a lone endo in a room with a Nightmare Eon plush and Moon, who, you know, connects to Secret of the Mimic. I don't know. Plus, like, no, never mind. Also, there's the drawing of the, like, the girl in the FNaF, the warehouse bedroom. I guess just that. Yeah, there's this, which is a really weird detail that we don't really have a good explanation for it. This image of, like, the girl in the bed, which is directly tied to the FNAF 4 experiments, so yeah, I mean, yeah. It does look like it's for children, too, because, like, no way an endo's sitting there, but I don't know. It's just so weird. I wish the modern afternoon experiments had a better explanation, but it's a woke world we live in. Anyway, I'm not fully confident on it either. Just a thought experiment. Yeah, I have the someone breaking into the Rockstar Road display case and taking the Music Man prototype. I have that glitch. I'm sure you have that in your timeline too. An odd little detail. You know, it actually... I'm going to rant about this. That one log in Security Breach that says, you know, someone stole one of the Wind Up Music Men prototypes from the Rockstar Road display case. And then Ruin shows us like 50 of them. I don't know. Curious to see how you address that glitch, because I think that's a bit of a plot hole. You do? Good. Good. I'm curious to see what you say about that. Escape the Pizzaplex is here. Then Gregory's freed. Then Security Breach. Glitch. I'm actually really surprised you have like so much time between Escape the Pizzaplex and Security Breach in your timeline. Like, there's almost a full line there. Like, there might be, actually. Like, that's crazy. I thought you thought that, like, it was directly before. I'm assuming, like, the space... You don't have to confirm or deny any of this. I'm assuming the space between Escape the Pizzaplex and Security Breach is just, like, the duffel bag messages. Oh, you just have it in your timeline image? Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm assuming it's just that, because, like, that's a lot of... There's a lot of space between there. Like, I really thought you'd just have them, like, one after the other. That's crazy. And now I'm really looking forward to this. This was a good marketing campaign. Because it got me hooked. I mean, I was before, but... What's Ruin? What's it about? So there's this girl, Cassie, right? The Pizzaplex has been destroyed by the blob. Cassie comes in, because she thinks Gregory's trapped beneath the Pizzaplex. She goes under the sinkhole to where she thinks Gregory is, and she meets the Mimic. That's pretty much just it. Yeah, Security Breach, Princess Quest ending, Tangle escapes, Help Wanted 2, Ruin, bada bing, bada boom. This is my book timeline, which I don't know. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to go back and reread that tweet then. Yeah. And there we go. That was the very brief Bernie Bear FNAF timeline. Not going to go through the whole thing in detail because we'd be here for hours. Oh, Entity, yeah. That Entity, that's what I think is going on with GGY. I think Balloon World is Gregory's Princess Quest. Tangle. Can we go back to the Blob? Yeah, I don't like either of the names. I think I prefer Blob, but, you know. Applause. Yahoo! Yahoo! Oh. Yeah. Let me just see stuff. Oops. Boop. Boop. I'm just closing the tier list now because we don't need them anymore. Alright. Well. All in all, I would say that was a W stream. Balloon World was what corrupted Gregory. False equivalency. Yeah. I don't think Balloon World corrupted him per se, but I think Balloon World is what freed him. Cassie's the one to beat it. I don't know. I don't think we know how Gregory escapes. Like, obviously it probably does have to do with Balloon World, but we don't know who freed him. Might be Cassie, might not be. I don't know why Escape the Pizzaplex didn't address that. Cawthon, the man that you are. No, that's fine, Joey. That's fine. I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad all of you showed up. Gathered you all in one place, just like he asked you to. Yeah. Glitch, I've been meaning to watch Ride Toast's video. Dawko just uploaded Saturday Night at Freddy's is terrifying. Anything but finishing Secret of the Mimic VR mode. Actually, he's on vacation. Never mind. Well. Chat, I'm bored. I'm probably going to end stream because we've been going for 2 hours, but I don't know what I'm going to do after this. I don't know. Chat, what am I going to do after this stream? I need your help deciding. The same notification. Party hat. We are Dawko. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't want to do anything. I kind of just want to exist. I don't know. Chat, what is Bernie Bear going to do after the stream? Have a nap? See, but then that would mess up my sleep schedule. I don't know. I've always been weird about naps. I mean, not a bad idea. I do look tired. FNaF. I'll play FNaF on Fortnite. No. No. I'd say Fortnite doesn't sound bad, but I don't know. I don't know. In VIP, there was a thing that used the AR thing from Ruin that made your scores go up 2 times for something. What if that's how GGY had these scores and got corrupted? Didn't Rytoast propose that theory before, like, a while ago? I don't know. I do think the, I don't remember what it's called, but, like, I do think it's a bit of a wasted potential that was introduced in VIP and then never used again, but you could say that about a lot of the book concepts, so, you know. Yeah, Mo, that's what it is. Mo from The Simpsons. See, chat, what I do want to do. Me and my brother have been doing a lot of driving practice lately. Because, you know, he's getting his permit. I really enjoy doing driving practice with him. I'm just, like, exploring. But he's in school right now, so we can't do that. Maybe I'll try to take more pictures. I know Twitter likes those, which is good. Chat. What do we do? You know what, chat? This is what. No, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna pull up something on Twitter, but I don't want to do that. just because it... Alright. I'll end stream. I won't keep you all watching me figure out what to do. I'll figure out something, maybe. Buy the Freddy potion at 3 a.m. Read VIP. No, we're not doing story time. See, like, again, I'm trying to think of stuff that's, like, online. Not for this stream, but, like, future streams that we could do. But, like, I don't know. It's like... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's worth it. Yeah. Story time with Bernie Bear. Dude, I would fall asleep if we did story time. Chat, what if we bully Glitch into getting him to spoil the Mega Pizzaplex timeline for us? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of stuff to do, but I can't. My brain is just empty. You know, I was supposed to hang out with my friends tomorrow, but they never made plans, so... I don't know. And of course, the kitty's gone, so we can't get kitty content. Nor can I give her good snuggles. And cat snuggles are the best kinds of snuggles. I mean, I guess... Chat, what y'all think about my Tralaleo Tralala plushie? Could I convince you to read The Real Jake? Party Hat, you should read The Real Jake, because it's arguably one... Chat doesn't like it. Good chat. Good chat. You should read The Real Jake, because it's arguably one of the best... one of the most emotionally charged FNaF stories. It's... you know, it's... You know, I'm gonna say it, it's the most emotional FNaF story. The Real Jake is. Because it deals with such a human issue that we have in our real life. You know, illnesses like that are just heartbreaking. Don't go in expecting any, like, lore things. Obviously, Jake is a very important character for the Stitch Wraith Stingers. But just go in, you know, expecting to have your heart move a little. And I think you'll enjoy it. You have the same plush. It's Felix the Shark. Felix. Tra-la-la, tra-la-la. Shark with blue shoes. Swimming in the ocean like he's got nothing to lose. Weeping reading it? Yeah, it's a deep story. Did someone say deep? Why is he equipable? Dude, I want to know about his third shoe. He did a very good job of tying his shoes, though. You know, he did a good job tying them. Dude, what if we had a FNaF plush that was just this, but Felix the Shark? Wouldn't that be so peak? Wouldn't that just be the most peak thing you've ever seen? Chat, what else can I show you? I don't know. What's his third leg? Bro. I have a story I can tell about this plushie, I guess. Ugh. Chica. So, I got this thing on vacation, I think a year ago. Or, yeah, a year ago. They had her and the puppet. In the FNaF 2 movie, I don't remember which company made these plushies. Good Stuff. In the movie, Good Stuff's puppet plushie shows up in the prize corner of the flashback in the 82 pizzeria. I'm actually kind of upset. Good Stuff's puppet plushie showed up, but not their toy Chica. So, I kind of wish I got the puppet instead, because then I could say, look, I have a plushie that was in the FNaF movie. But instead I have toy Chica. And, although she's very, very cute, very pudgy. I don't know. Profile picture is on Discord. Yeah, it's a very goofy plush. Yeah, so I wish I got the puppet plush, but toy Chica's fine, I guess. I mean, she is fine, but yeah. Ugh. Masterful gambit, Mr. Cawthon. Yes. We can't have our movies make sense. Why she's so strong? Dude, she got that grip. I got a Toxic Springtrap Mystery Mini. He's cool. I wish we still got Mystery Minis. Seeker of the Mimic Wave would have went insane. Let's see, we got Games Springtrap. It doesn't want to focus. We got Games Springtrap. We got Vanny. Vanny Squishy. Squishy Vanny. We got what else we got? We got the FNaF ducks. I've shown those guys before. Minecraft redstone block. This thing's older than, I don't know. Gay Springtrap. Tori focuses a lot about me, but I guess mentality and stuff in their head after something happened. It's all showed so well. I'll have to check it out, Entity. You are hyping it up a lot. Shoot, I don't know. I got a golf ball I stole from somewhere. I just moved my camera. Hi. Oh, damn it, I messed it up. Okay. I don't know. I'm probably just going to end stream. I don't know. I'll think of something to do. Thank you guys, as always, for showing up. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll see you guys on the next stream, which, again, is going to be a Fortnite tier list. We're going to see how well that does. If it does bad, we won't do it again. If it does good, we'll continue with them for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you in the next stream. Peace.